Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Melissa Estavillo. Welcome to Biltmore Psychology and Counseling's video blog. For this month, we're talking about some questions around relationships. Within our practice, we see a lot of people for relationship distress, and we wanted to answer some of the common questions that we get from people. And so this next question is, what is an emotional affair? So this is a really common thing where people come in and say, well, was it a physical affair or was it an emotional affair? As if these are kind of black and white things. So I will answer the question for you, but for a moment to take a step back. Within couples counseling, I really like to define instead a sense of a boundary crossing. And this is important because a lot of people, they'll get really offended and say, I didn't have an affair because they didn't have intercourse with someone. But there was all these other pieces involved that really broke the trust and broke the foundation of the relationship. And so it's important not to get caught up in the semantics or the words that we use in the midst of all of this. And so that's why I tend to use the word boundary crossing. So with that in mind, I think it's important to be able to say, these emotional affairs tend to be things where people define and say, hey, there wasn't a physical element of this. It's not that you somehow broke the trust around, intimacy, fidelity, but you broke the trust around intimacy in terms of emotions. And that can be really painful to say, hey, so it's not this technically you didn't cheat kind of thing, but I really feel hurt because you fell in love with someone else, or you disclosed emotional types of topics or conversations with someone else, and you didn't turn to me. You didn't give me the opportunity to be able to be there for you. And that can cause a lot of distrust in the relationship and a lot of distress. I think some other effects of emotional affairs, it can really feel like, fear of, do we not have the spark anymore? Do we not have the depth of connection that we used to have? And a lot of the hope that I give couples is, yes, there are times in which couples will have emotional disconnections. Obviously, it can be really painful and difficult when boundaries have been crossed in terms of emotional affairs, but these are things that we can work through. These are things that can be healed if both partners are willing and ready to be able to do some of those things. And so this is really how we define, the difference between a physical affair, emotional affair. Really, in a way, we just tend to say, hey, this is a boundary crossing, and that gives the right for any person to say, I feel hurt because you crossed the boundaries of the way we define our relationship. So as always, we love questions like this. We want to be able to answer them for you. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, and you can always leave questions for us in the comments below. So thank you.